Hello, and hopefully you are having a stress-free day. We are going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about how stress impacts academic performance and what you can do about it. So stay tuned for that. Well, let's begin by talking about what are the most common factors that contribute to stress for students. Then we want to be talking about how schools can help students best deal with stress. 3 might surprise you, but it's going to be why stress can be beneficial. And 4 is about how it can be harmful to try to eliminate stress. And last, we're going to be looking at a case study. And the factors that can contribute to stress are, there's some general categories, but obviously those categories can affect different people in different ways and all, but what's going on in the family dynamics, maybe parents aren't getting along, that can create stress, the drive to try to get into a college, academic performance, social issues, relationship challenges, boyfriend-girlfriend issues, trying to make the sports team, not fitting in with that team, being cut from a team, go on and on, right? Time management skills, trying to get homework done, gaming, the stresses that come from too much video, lack of sleep. All of these things are happening all the time. The negativity kids are being exposed to, right? From social media comparison, where you're comparing yourself, you're seeing what's going on there. All stress related. This is becoming a huge problem as there's so much negativity, so many reasons for kids to begin to doubt themselves, to panic, it's a serious problem what's going on in terms of the number of types of incidences that are creating stress in children. Schools are trying to address this, but quite frankly, a lot of their programs are, and I hesitate to say it this way because some of what I do with schools is kind of a canned program, but they're too canned. They aren't personalized enough, right? So when I have a program for schools, I want the people within the schools and all to get personal with the kids, right? To begin to teach the things they need to teach, but again, we're going to go back to something we talked about earlier. This is the relationships that are going on. And those skills need to be taught at home as well. So you teach something at school, can't do it once a day or once a week. You need to do some of these things daily. You need to purposely and directly impact the mindset of the student, right? It's not just about skill set. The skill set is going to come and first and foremost by the mindset and the beliefs and values that they hold, and those include beliefs and values and how they relate to other people. Those things all have to be addressed, and schools do not do a good job with that. You are beginning to see them do more things like exercise programs. Fantastic, kudos, great. Breathing work, let's do some meditation work, let's have a quiet space. Good, fantastic, love that. Then you have some groups who meet with social workers regularly. Great. Some who meet with guidance counselors. Great. But there is no formal program to address the mindset of kids, and that's going to be the number one factor that drives it. All right, we've got to address this, and that is not all stress is equally bad. I'll use an exercise example, right? When you exercise, you're putting your body under stress. When you work out strength training, you're putting your muscles under stress. Why do you do that? Because it benefits them. They tear them down, build them back up. They become stronger. They are able to perform physical tasks endurance-wise longer. That's stress. Not all stress is equal. The same thing can go with mental or emotional stress. You begin to learn how to deal with these things. What is not positive is chronic stress, long-term stress. When you're holding this stress on, holding these negative emotions on for an extended period of time, that is not beneficial for the body, it's not beneficial for the mind, spirit, soul, or anything. So it's being able to take the stress, process what you need to learn from that stressful situation, then let go of the emotions behind it. And that is how you can begin to positively utilize that stress. But we got to understand that all stress is not the same. This really leads into this idea that when you try to eliminate stress, you're doing harm to the child because they aren't getting that opportunity to learn how to deal with adversity, to persist in the face of setbacks, right? If they become overwhelmed, so you go, oh, we're not going to do this, they don't learn time management skills. When you try to remove stress from the child's life, you're really doing harm to them. There's another great book that I would encourage, and that's Coddling of the American Mind, and it talks about some of this. This moniker that this current generation have of being snowflakes, and that is directly related to this idea. The idea is as soon as they get any sort of stress, they just melt away because they haven't had the experience of having to deal with it. So I know school districts who have said, we're going to have a no homework policy. Why? Well, they've said that homework is not being utilized to really meet the academic needs. It's just busy work. It's not positively reinforcing. And this is a major factor in some areas. There are many kids who, once they leave home, have a lousy environment to be able to do homework. All right? So you can imagine, you've probably seen some of these movies, right? Where a teenage girl goes home and her mom's off somewhere else. She's got 3, 4 younger siblings. She's the one who's in charge of trying to babysit them and care for them. And mom works out at night, so she won't be back till late. And she's got all those responsibilities. She lives in an apartment complex that's too noisy and lots of bad things are going on, and she can't concentrate. So we won't give anybody homework because of those situations. And there's a real danger in that, even for those students who have those kind of backgrounds. When you know there's a child that has that kind of background, you need to work with them independently to try to figure out some other alternative, which we have done in the past, on trying to help that child find a different place where they might be able to do some work outside of school. So there are some things that are being done positively. There's one research-based program that come out that's very positive. It's called MindUP. It's dealing with things that I often talk about and try to have people incorporate, and things like mindfulness, meditation, that aspect, breath work, exercise programs. I mentioned another video, what happens when you incorporate those things. Those are all very important pieces or components that schools can and should put in to give students the opportunity to get the exercise, learn how to emotionally manage their state, all good stuff. But what a lot of these are missing is the ability to show kids how to clean up their past. That means identify things in their past, their memories, the limiting beliefs, the held on to negative emotions, so they can clean those out. You have to do that. You have to do that before you build any positive mindset. I hope you really take what I provided and offered in this and begin to apply it. As a parent, there's things that you can do to help your child learn to deal with stress. It's one of the most important things you can do. Again, I emphasize it over and over, mindset. I would encourage you to subscribe to this channel, look at other videos. There's all kinds of different topics, not just on mindset, but all these things may help you piece together an action plan. Strongly encourage you to do that. You might also want to register for our free webinar, which is emotional hygiene. That's going to give you even more in-depth analysis, and the link to that will be in the description of this video. And I hope that you'll tune in to another video, and I will see you then.